So everyone says that I should document all of the things that I create because I create so many things during the day. And the other day I was on a call and I was using a new piece of software that I really like, and I'm going to share that in a different video. Today, I'm going to share with you exactly how I'm creating a webinar funnel. And it's not going to be the typical funnel because I don't feel like creating landing pages and all that stuff. I just cannot handle it. It's too much work. So I'm going to use Airtable. I'm going to use N8N. I'm going to use InVideo, and I am going to show you my complete webinar launch system documentation for it's actually $50 a month, not 40, because InVideo is actually 28 and then N8N is about 28 as well. It's in euros. Right now I am at the start of this. It should take me 2 hours and it's now 5 o'clock. I have been reaching out to a bunch of people. Unfortunately, I don't get any response from these companies, even though I've talked to just a few business owners. And after talking to them and showing them what I have created on their behalf, they were really blown away. And they're like, wow, I can't believe that they wouldn't even call you back after you've given them so much information and so much value. I'm going to create a webinar, and it's going to be about AI search and AI optimization, generative engine optimization, answer and ask engine optimization. And this is going to be for the healthcare industry, home healthcare, financial, attorneys, executives who are looking to increase their reach on, and actually their authority, not just their reach, their authority and their credibility on AI search. And this is something that I am finding not the simplest thing to do. It is definitely a different game than this SEO, keyword stuffing and bidding on keywords. It's a fad or a trend. AI is a trend, and it's really not going to affect the person's business that I was talking to. So this is going to be a 2-hour setup. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I'm doing this. And I was told to start documenting my processes because it would help other people, in addition to showing exactly what I'm capable of and what I do, basically 16 to 18 hours a day. So it's 5:15 and I've just finished and I've created my webinar leads here. So now the next thing I need to do is create the N8N flow. So I'm going to do that right now. I have to create the form. I forgot I needed to create the form required. So that's what I'm going to do now, the form, and then I'll go back into automations and integration or interfaces. This is where I'm going to create my new form in Airtable, and then I'm going to go over to N8N and create that flow. This is about the simplest I have ever made anything. This is just an AI search webinar registration. It's first name, last name, email, business URL, phone, and source. And that is it. And that's all I need to know. Submission is here. It's made with Airtable. I'm not worried about logos or beautiful colors or all of the fancy stuff. This is to get out so that I am able to create a webinar for people who really need the information. It's not about being pretty. It's not about being stellar or having the right suit or having the right hairdo or any of that. This is about having just a basic webinar form to fill out. So I'm not going for the prettiness of this. It is about the functionality, get it done, and get it out. I kind of got hung up here on the form because if you don't have a paid plan on Airtable, you have very limited things that you can do, such as forward to another domain or change the buttons or any of that stuff. So I want to keep this free and I want to keep it simple. And I did that. So I am just creating the form. It's going to be a submit form, and then they'll get an email. And I notified them that when they press the submit form, they get an email confirmation and to check their spam and trash. And then I said, there are no fancy thank you pages with dancing bunnies. So just so you know, you're not going to be upsold to a bunch of stuff. So this is the form now as it sits. I'm going to create the N8N. Now this took me 37 minutes in total because I was trying to figure out how to get all of this doing it for free. And I also got kind of caught up in something else that I was trying to get done. It was veered off for about 12 minutes, 25 minutes total. So now we're going to create this personal access token. This is in the Builder Hub in Airtable. And I'm going to create this read and write and look at the schema. And also, it's only going to have access to the leads. It's not going to have access to everything. And you have to be really careful with this, because it only has 1,000 API calls. You got to be really careful where this goes so that people aren't using it egregiously. And this is something that happened to me before with the OAuth, ChatGPT OAuth API. Put it out, and I was trying to test my software, and it got totally annihilated. So you got to be really careful on that one. So now I'm creating the personal access token so that I can use this as an API call for N8N. One of the cool things that I just found out about N8N is that if you cancel your account for maybe a month or so, you're not using it and you just want to cancel it so you don't have to pay for it, if you're on a monthly anyway, they don't delete your stuff. So I just had to rejoin because I wasn't using N8N in the past couple months or month and a half, I guess. I was creating a bunch of N8N automations, probably like not even a month and a half. I canceled it because I was like, I'm much more headed in a different direction, to help with AI search. And so I didn't use this as much. And I was also doing an RSS feed off of TikTok. I found that when the new algorithm came out, my videos weren't even getting seen anyway. So I just stopped TikToks. The new company took over, and I don't know if I necessarily want to be on that platform. I'm still making that decision based on other things politically. I joined N8N again, and all of my automations are here. So this is pretty cool. I am going to integrate my N8N with my Gmail right now and give an OAuth to my Gmail so that I'm able to send a automated sequence to those people who signed up in my Airtable form and be able to follow up with them. So that's the whole point of this, making it really simple for them. I'm not making it crazy busy or, a lot of work. I'm not a graphic designer. And when I'm in this mode of just build, I can't really get creative with the graphic. It just doesn't come to me. So I'm not one to have to do all of the things. I really want to eliminate that in my life. And this makes it really simple. I'm going to now create a N8N automation. And when I come back, I'll show you that automation. And just one thing, when you go to create a credential over here, you're going to go up to create workflow and hit this down arrow here, and you'll create a new credential. And this is the easiest way to do it. You can go to Gmail or Gmail OAuth to API. That's what you want, this Gmail OAuth to API. And that's how you create your new credential. Okay, so that was super simple. My account is now connected. It's just signing in with Google and giving it all the authorizations. When you do this, it's a lot easier on you and on your automations so that it can get the job done for you. If you are setting up your N8N to credential with Airtable, I'm going to use the Airtable personal access token because that's what I just created for the API. So this personal access token will be my API token that I just created in Airtable. If you have another way to do it, you just type Airtable and you can create your Airtable API or your OAuth 2 API. I think this is when you have an OAuth account. I think that's for a paid account. So not really sure, but I have the free account. And when you have a free account, this is what you get, your personal access token. All right, I put my personal access token in, and now I have my enabled scopes for my token, which is data read and write and schema base read. I'm going to save this, and bam, it is now 6:01 p.m. and I am rocking and rolling. Oh, I couldn't connect with these settings. Okay, so I have to retry. All right, so we have some issues. I have to figure this out. Okay, so I must have copied something else in there, and now my connection tested successfully. Good to go. All right, so I have my, whoops, I have my data records, my data read write, and my schema-based records. So now that's saved, and I am ready to go. This is really cool. Okay, that took me just 1 minute, 6:01 to 6:02. This is pretty simple to set up. It's just an Airtable trigger to a Gmail, although you'd think it was it's only two things. It's pretty simple. But when you get inside of here, there are some things that aren't so simple, and it has to do with JSON code and your text and how your emails are showing up. So there were a couple of glitches with that, but I set that up. And so now I have the Airtable form, and that is here. Okay, so I've got my Airtable form. I've got my Airtable data right here. And now I've got the Airtable hooked up to N8N, and I've got Gmail hooked up to N8N. Now, when somebody goes to register for the event, an automated email will show up. It showed up within like 60 seconds for me. That might be different for other people based upon what's going on. I don't know. Just letting you know, I did this and it's 6:45. I think it's done now. I just have to check on a few things, but I believe now I can send out the form. I can create a webinar on LinkedIn. I can pick a date, and now I can start doing all of my content. I'm going to create an automated sequence for my content so that I'm able to set that up where it goes out automatically on LinkedIn. I will start setting up automated videos as well using AI. And instead of doing talking head videos that people are like, here she is with her green screen again. I don't have the studio and everything else and the lighting, all the prettiness around and all the plants and everything else. All of this, it took me less than 2 hours. Of course, I've done this before and I've never documented this as I've done it like I have here. I'll just walk you through this again. It's Airtable data, created my source of data that I want to collect, Airtable forms so that I don't have to set up a lead page or a landing page. Good grief, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to go back and create schema and all kinds of stuff like that. This is just an event, and the goal is if I can get 15 people registered on this event after I reach all of these people, hopefully, within the week, then I've done a good job. Now, if less show up, so be it. If no one shows up, I'm really bummed, but I'm going to do the best I can to get this out and be able to share this with as many people, because I think they're going to really understand what they're missing out on with AI search. And I do believe that once hear and see the numbers that they're missing out on. And also, if I do a live audit on the call and there are people on the call and I do a live audit, somebody gives me their site and says, do a live audit, I will do that. I'll do the best I can for that one. So as I'm walking through this, I think I'm finished with this. And this is how I set this up. This is not that hard to do. It does a little bit of testing, and you do have to know N8N. This is not a simple system to learn. Neither is Airtable, quite honestly. I mean, you really do need to have that technical background. It is easier than a lot of things. When I used to use Zapier and I would create these incredible flows, like when I was working with the Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi webinar bot for the Knowledge Business Blueprint, and I was one of the testers, that flow was insane. And that Zapier was incredible. So you really have to have a knowledge for that. These can get a little bit kind of shaky sometimes. So just so you know, but all in all, less than 2 hours, and I think I'm done. And this is the journey that I go on every single day. I create things, I build things, I reach out to people. I send out multiple documents every day to people who don't even know me. I call them up and I say, hi, I just sent you this, in hopes that I will build a solid reputation and a business based upon the value that I give, knowledge that I have that can help them to grow their business. All right, I'll see you on the next video.